Preparing to live stream meeting. Here we go. Well, doing something.
Yeah, your picture, I can't see it. Maybe that's by
Yeah.
design though.
Yeah, I've
I,
got this C screen that says it's setting up
oh,
your meeting for YouTube Live, done, redirecting to
all
YouTube.
right, all right.
There we
Yeah,
go.
I see David Gilmore, but I don't see you.
All right, there we go.
Now I
Do you
see
see
you.
me?
Yep. David
All right,
Gilmore,
so we're
you came.
all right, so we're live. We're good. Is it finished? All right. This is so weird. Do you see me now on YouTube?
I'm not on YouTube. I'm just on I'm
Because I
on
can see Zoom. So it's. I'm assuming this is going to work here. All right, that's so weird. All right, I don't know. So, anyways, we're gonna flip it over there. It's working. All right, so we're working here. All right, so if you're welcome to Good Dunning, or actually say Tuesday Night Live with Mr. Floyd here. We've got Adam, our guest here from the Medium channel. I hope we're working here. I can't really see the chat here. I'm going to try to do this in a different manner here and flip it over to there we go. All right, so we got Adam from the Medium channel here, and yeah, we're working. All right. So I can't watch the YouTube. This is kind of weird. I've never done this before. There is a delay on YouTube and I cannot see the chat. So I'm going to keep that as it stands here. So this is going to be different. This is all an experiment and I'm grateful that Adam is here to help with that. So I don't know how many people are live with us or not, or who's here or not. So this is kind of fun in that aspect. So what we're going to do, I should have my computer set up with YouTube, but there's that lag time here when you're doing it through Zoom. So all right, so we're going to start from now, I guess, and welcome to Tuesday Night Live. We've got Adam from Bernstein from the Medium channel here. Adam is he's an amazing soul. He does all kinds of different things. If you name it, Adam is like the you can do it in spirituality. He does mediumship, he does cards. His mediumship's absolutely phenomenal. He does channeling, light language. He just put on a retreat. Adam put on a retreat in the Catskills, which was absolutely fantastic. If you haven't watched it, there's an attachment in the community page for the fire homa that Jared did, which was absolutely fabulous. He does fire homas often, and he was able to do one for the 8-8 portal with Adam and the gang up in New York. And if you haven't watched it, I definitely recommend it, especially now. The energies, if you're not, even though you're not there and you're not watching it live like through YouTube or whatever, the energies will still be there, and especially now with the portal as well. So what we're going to do is introduce Adam. With no further ado here, he can say a few words. We're going to bring in Saint Germain for tonight's deal. We're going to do Saint Germain's going to do an interview with Adam, and then we'll do he's got some cards. We're going to gather the energies towards the fact that we're Mercury retrograde and the 8-8 portal. And so the two kind of combine together here. And so we're going to go ahead and bring in Adam here and let him say a few words here.
Hi. Well, firstly, thank you for inviting me. Thank you for letting me be on the channel and to speak. And yeah, it's a very auspicious time of the year, generally speaking. This year it's unique because it's also an 8-year in numerology. So 888 is going to be the numerology of August the 8th. So the Lines portal always peaks at that time. And like I said, it's auspicious. It's, the line is of the heart. It's the heart of the sign Leo that we're in. So there's a numeric and an astrological portal, but there's also a celestial portal that opens up this time of year. And that happens because of the fixed star Sirius starts to become visible in the pre-dawn hours, right at the beginning of Leo season, around the maybe 25th, 27th of the month. And as we get closer to 8-8, it gets closer to being in a perfect alignment with Orion's belt into the the Pyramid of Giza. So the ancient Egyptians celebrated this time. And what happened with that alignment is the transmissions from the star Sirius get stronger. And star Sirius, like our sun, is a transmitter of energies from the central sun. So basically, without sounding super woo-woo about the whole thing, basically what happens is that it activates the human collective fields in a certain way, and it allows us to get energetic upgrades. I mean, we get that different times of the year anyways, but during this portal, it's very powerful because it's solar light code activations that activates our etheric bodies, it activates our DNA, awakens dormant DNA. And it's a great time to open up to higher levels of spirit, higher levels of initiation, higher levels of awakening. And I'm going to be, on my channel working on the 8th at 8 p.m. Eastern time, working with the goddess Sekhmet, the lion goddess of the Egyptians, to assist in opening our heart portals to align with the energetic and numeric portal of the Lion's Gate. So yeah, a lot of people are going to be having shifts. It's a quantum leap of humanity, quantum leap in the collective. The master teachers, that's the name of the group that I work with, where I do the energy and the frequency channel. Have kind of been saying for a while that we're heading into a collective quantum leap or quantum jump, and that it's actually, they're saying it's peaking really around the Perseids meteor shower, but we're really in it now. And unlike a quantum leap in chemistry with the electron leaping to a higher level, that happens in a millionth of a second or two. In consciousness, it takes a few weeks or a few months to complete itself, but it's very auspicious because as we're leaping, we're more aligned with the quantum field, because when the electron leaps, it becomes energy. Electrons can exist as wave or particle, so they can exist as something physical or as energy, and they really exist in a flux state or both. So we're closer to the energetic, which means we're closer to the quantum field or the realm of spirit or God that created everything. So what you say, what you think, what you feel is going to carry extra weight now. So watch your words, watch your thoughts, and do some work every day to feel like whatever it is you desire in your life, it's already happening. Open your heart, because Leo's of the heart. When you open your heart, that's the energy. That's like the battery. So as Dr. Joe Dispenza tells us and others, that if you're able to keep a clear intention of what you desire in the present moment, that's the brain, and you feel grateful for it, that's the heart, and those two blend, then you send this powerful signal into the field, and then you become magnetic to what your desires are. And the cool thing is you really don't have to go anywhere. That's why it's law of attraction. It attracts to you, basically. And then whatever earthly actions that you need, you're going to know what it is. You don't have to plan, like, I need to do this, I need to do this in order to create that. No, the synchronicity will line up, it'll come to you. So very powerful. A lot of people are going to be awakening. The world's going to really be on its heels, like spinning, aimlessly through the cosmos, basically, because people are just not going to be able to handle it. So those of us that are here, we're all like way showers, light workers. We're all ascended in our own right. So we're going to be busy. We'll put it that way. And there's going to be a lot of shifting and a lot of upheaval on the planet. It's not going to just be on the 8-8 portal. It's going to be, over time. So anyway, there's a little explanation anyways.
Thanks, Adam. That was amazing. A lot of that I didn't actually know. Thank you so much. What we're going to do, I'm going to bring in Archangel Raphael and Saint Germain. I can't see the chat. So for those that are in the chat, if Millie would like to please put up Adam's, you can pin it. I think you have control if you to pin it, but either way, you can put in Adam's website. If you haven't seen Adam before, please join us, especially Sunday in the dawning, Sunday mornings. Adam goes live. What time? You go live on my time at it's 9 o'clock. So
9 at your
so,
time, so it's
so yeah, so
11
it'd be 11
Eastern,
Eastern.
8,
But
8
that's
Pacific. And that's
yeah,
tarot
we got
time. Yeah.
Tarot Time with Adam is where we all can get together. It's where
Yeah.
Adam's been a big win to this channel, and without Adam, I don't and a bunch of people from Adam's channel, which has become family. We're all family. I don't know if I'd be sitting here right now, and I mean that in an honest sort of way, and I'm grateful. And I thank you, Adam, for
Indeed.
that.
Yeah,
Um,
meant to be, yeah.
seriously, it means a lot to me. And everybody who's watching this, who was on Adam's channel, who kind of picked up on all this and moved over, thank you all so much. So Sunday mornings, Sunday dawnings, and I don't know what we're in morning for, but Sundays at 11 Eastern, 9 my time or 8 West Coast.
Pacific,
Join
yeah.
us. It's like a family chat. Adam will do the meeting. He does his cards for the week, and it's the energetics, and it's like a family chat. So join us for that. If you haven't seen Adam's channel, that's a really good place to start because it's a loosely structured show. So and everybody's chatting and kind of getting set for the week. So it's really nice. And I appreciate it. It's something I look forward to every Sunday. So from my end here, I'm going to call in Archangel Raphael and Saint Germain. If you haven't seen channeling before, well, then how did you end up here? Most likely, but nonetheless, I'm a what they call a conscious, semi-conscious channeler. I can open my eyes now. I can get up and at night, like the later it is, the more conscious I am as a channeler. So I can eat. I can do all kinds of crazy stuff. I can walk around and channel Saint Germain, and it's actually kind of awesome. So I count down from 5 just to center myself, and we'll see what we got. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good evening and welcome. We are so grateful to have you and Adam Bernstein from the Medium channel here. We are Archangel Raphael Saint Germain, and we are channeling through Josh for you. And we, of course, say this repetitious thing every day that we channel. So you are under understanding that we are channeling through Josh for you and what is going on here, of course. And we are grateful as all get out for Adam Bernstein to be here. He is from the Medium channel and he is an amazing soul. Adam does all kinds of mediumship. If you are wanting to get in touch with your family, Adam is the man to do so. Adam does tarot cards and all kinds of stuff. He's the kind of like the switchblade knife or the Swiss Army knife of spirituality in a sort of way, because he can do a lot of different things. He just put on a retreat, and there's a bunch of you probably in the chat who had went to the retreat. And so if you have not watched the Adam Bernstein channel, the Medium channel, there we go. We are saying that it is a good channel. If you are enjoying watching Mr. Floyd and Saint Germain and Archangel Raphael here, you are enjoying watching Josh and the channeling, there's a similar energy to speak if you're watching the Medium channel as well. So we recommend that you watch that, but we don't want to go too much further here. What we are here to do right now, we are going to interview Adam. So we are going to first welcome Adam to the show. This is the first time we have ever done this, and Saint Germain put the idea into Josh about a month ago, and here we are. So things move forward. He's a little slow when the ideas land in his head, but we do get him to move forward at time when time is right. So here we are with Adam, and we are going to greet Adam. Thank you so much for being here. This is the first time Saint Germain has done an interview through Josh. We have course done tons of interviews, and you have probably spoken to and through Saint Germain, and Saint Germain knows that you have channeled him as well, and we are thankful and we appreciate your energies when you are channeling and speaking with Saint Germain. And Saint Germain is always going to be with you, Adam, and is always a part of you. And so we are grateful you are here. So tell us, how did you get started in your spirituality? What started you in all of this to begin with?
Well, let's see. Going back to college, I got into the martial arts. Basically, for self-defense. Small kid with a big mouth. Didn't want to get pushed around so much. So my buddies said we had this very spiritual teacher. So they invited me for class. I connected with my teacher immediately. After about 8 months or so, doing Tai Chi Chuan, which is an internal martial art, was part of the training. And then one day I was doing it, and then my hand just seemed to be moving on their own, like a force. It felt like a force outside of myself was moving. And that kind of precipitated an awakening. And then, then I, to, with the martial arts and yoga was part of it. I was starting to see auras. I was starting to get psychic hits on things. And then one day I was just out riding my bike, and then I just got this flash of light. It was like a double flash, and then I just stopped, and it's just like I had this profound. I called it an awakening, but it was like the initial shaking. It wasn't really an awakening per se, but it was and it wasn't. So to make a long story short, I just stopped. I looked around. Everything looked the same, but it looked completely different. It's hard to explain that. And I just, I started crying. I just went on my knees and I just had this realization. What happened was all the mysteries of the universe opened up to me for maybe a hundredth of a second, maybe. And then when I came out of that, I was like, the thought that came into my mind, everything I've learned up until now is a complete lie, and I need to learn the truth. And that's when my spiritual path really started. And I got into things like hallucinogens, like LSD, mushrooms, and stuff like that. Good, for me, it worked. for other people, not so much, because there's a couple of kids in our circle that really, didn't fare well from doing these drugs, I have to say. But for me, it worked really well. I had some good trips, I had some scary trips. But then after a while, I realized it wasn't the acid, it wasn't the drugs, it was the point of perception, the shift in perception that it offered me. But then you come down, and you come down hard from acid. I mean, I don't know if Josh has ever done that, but you come down hard from that, and it's like, all right, I figure, what good is it? I get this great high, I get all these insights, but then I'm back to where I was. So I really got more into my martial arts, more into my yoga. I really started to get disciplined. And that's basically how it all started. Um, and things would happen like I'd wake up one morning, I'd think about somebody I hadn't seen in 2 months, and I'd run into them that day, that kind of a thing. And then at one point, I had this dream about this tall lady, and I knew she was my soulmate. And it's like I met her like 2.5 years later, and I knew who she was. And it took a little convincing, because she's 6 inches taller than me. One, you're 6 feet tall. I'm 5'6", so about 5'5" now. You shrunk a little bit in my old age. Um, and she's older than me, several years older than me. So it took a little bit of convincing, but once she got it, we had a great 8-year relationship. But then anyway, point being is that I was getting a lot of intuitive things. I was getting more and more, like, these gifts were coming in. Like, I could, if as long as I wasn't thinking, if I was just breathing, I could sort of intercede the wind, so to speak, or connect with them, and they would blow really hard, and the wildlife would come near me, like all these strange gifts. And right now, as I'm processing things that happened earlier in my life, I'm really working to regain these gifts. Because what happened, one side of it is like, oh wow, I'm so spiritual, blah blah blah. The other side, I was pretty psycho also, I have to admit. And I was starting to shy away from people. I couldn't be around people so much. I stayed home a lot. I'd go out in the woods. I socialized less and less. Could I, things like I could look at somebody and just know what they were thinking and feeling behind all the pleasantries, and it freaked me right the F out. I have to be honest. It's almost like people, I could literally see masks over people's faces. It was really crazy and creepy, but I knew what people were about. I knew they had hidden mode. Not everybody, but most people. They just can be around people. And at one point, I went up to the woods. I had this spirit guide that was John. I think John the scribe, but there were I think three different Johns in the Bible. So take your pick. But it's the one that would have understood, like doing hallucinogens and getting messages. Basically, that's Revelations, I do believe. So, anyways, and when this guy came in, he's so powerful. Like, it's literally like the woods would turn quiet, the breeze would stop. His messages would never be more than 4 words long. Very profound, very simple. Then he'd usually part saying, "Yeah, you humans are so complicated." And but the message was, "You've gone as far as you can go. Now you've got to go back into the world." And within a year, I was in jail. All this crazy stuff happened. It's like I had to almost start over, like be in the belly of the beast, clawing my way out. Then I got to Florida, where my martial arts teacher left. I had to take, really tough jobs, like working in kitchens, never having enough money, all this stuff, really, really hard stuff. But the point being is that I was developing these upper chakras, these amazing gifts were coming to me, but I had no lower chakra, like no connection with the earth, basically. And they just said, you can't go any farther like that. You've got to get grounded. You've got to experience the good, the bad, and the ugly of the world, of the earth plane. And, and I got a lot of the ugly, I have to say, a lot of the bad. But in hindsight, these are experiences that made me who I am today, basically. So, that's kind of how I started along. Later on in 1984, I think it was. Well, actually, it's before I went to jail. So it was all during this cascading when I was going back down, back into the earth. But I met a tarot reader in Oklahoma City, or Norman, Oklahoma, where I was staying at the time, and I learned the tarot. Later on, I learned how to do mediumship. It just really started to come, basically. So I love the psychic stuff. But when the first introduction to the card was like, I was so fascinated with it, and her name's Amberella. She's since transitioned into spirit. And my friend Bob Vetter or Robert Vetter did these tours called Journeys into Native American Territories, and he was taking uh, uh, graduate courses at Oklahoma University. That's the one in Norman, not University of Oklahoma. I think that one's in Tulsa. The one in Oklahoma City, well, Norman, Oklahoma, a suburb of Oklahoma City. And so he invited me down to live with him for a few months. We did martial arts classes at the university together. And his roommate was a 40-something-year-old psychic named Amberella. Very, very good psychic. One to this day, one of the best I've ever met. Yeah, and I met hundreds since then, if not thousands. And she just sensed that I was fascinated, and she took me aside. She said, "Here's your card. Here's a book. Study. You've already done this in other lifetimes." And then I did that. I stayed up for 48 hours straight. It was like this divine obsession that I had to learn. I kept doing spread. I kept doing this till I finally crashed for 10 hours. I finally, was laid out. And then the next day or the next two, she said, "Well, I'm going to give you my tarot client because I really don't like card readings. I like doing palm reading." I'm like, but. Said, "Oh, just trust the cards. You've done this before." So basically, my first reading was I had a book of meanings, side. I had the cards, and the people were just like, "Oh my God, oh my God." So I was like, I really could do it. So anyway, that was part of my introduction into the psychic world, was using tarot as a tool for that.
Awesome. So you had said that you had a moment in your universe where you had a space, like a second space, where you saw the big picture. Can you describe that a little bit more for the audience, please?
Yeah, I don't know, because it's such a blur. I was riding my bike. I was on I-88 before it opened up in Oneonta, New York. And it's just like a flash, a double flash of light. That's what I remember. It's like boom, boom, like brilliant light, and then there's just like I just felt like almost lost in a way, but at the same time, it felt like so connected, and it just was like, yeah, it's hard to describe, but it just brought me to tears and just saying, everything that I've learned up until now is a complete lie. Now I have to learn the truth. I was in college. It was a little bit inconvenient because I was in meteorology major studying weather forecasting. Um, and interestingly, later on, Norman, Oklahoma is the center of this, the severe storms forecast is in Norman, Oklahoma. But anyway, yeah, I went from being like pretty much an A student to barely passing. So, it was like everything I've learned up until now is a lie. It's like I lost interest in the educational system. I lost interest in the government system. I lost interest in everything. I just wanted to learn, grow spiritually. I wanted to study yoga. I wanted to meet a guru. I wanted to do all this stuff. I just wanted to advance spiritually. And I mean, I managed to pass, but I wasn't studying the way I did before. I was like really gung ho, I was really squeaky clean. I started to get into smoking a little bit of weed in college. I started to smoke more weed. I started to do more drugs, and not just acid, mushrooms, peyote, weed. Not none of the. I mean, I tried coke a few times, but none of those kind of drugs. And I just wanted to, I wanted to learn martial arts. I decided I wanted to be a martial arts teacher. I still wanted to be a meteorologist. I still wanted to do weather forecasting. So I managed to pass. I managed to get through it, but I just had no interest. And I just saw through everything, and just people were so programmed. I could see that. I could feel that. And I didn't want to be like them. And I just wanted I wanted to maybe find an ashram to live in. I didn't want to, deal with that. But part of me still followed the path of being a scientist, also. So I don't know. It's hard to describe, but that's about the best that I can do with that.
Fantastic. And you had mentioned that you don't know if Josh had taken LSD. We will state for him because we know he doesn't mind if we state that yes, he has taken plenty of LSD and all kinds of window pane and gel tabs and you name it. You need ran
What a
somebody in the rain.
shock.
He ran into somebody at a rainbow gathering who went to MIT and said, "Look what I made in my lab for I got the keys to the lab and look what I made." And yeah, so yeah, he has been all over with that. So, but it's just like you and your universe, once you see all of that, then you have to ground into your universe. And so eventually,
Yeah.
every once in a blue moon, but it is not his universe anymore, per se. But yes. So how did you go then? So you can explain to the audience because you are saying that you went from jail and junk jobs, so to speak, working in kitchens, not junk jobs. Every job has something for the universe, but nothing that's with your dharma or anything. So you are working on these other jobs. And now you are here on the Medium channel. So how did you end up with the Medium channel and being Adam Bernstein and doing these Sunday mornings and such? And now throwing retreats and all of this when you are in Florida and how did that you bridge that gap to become where you are now? So people who are maybe just waking up and seeing that they are in their universe and they are not happy being whatever they are and they're looking to end up where you are. How did you end up there?
Oh, thank you, Saint Germain. Great questions, of course. And I have to thank you also for because when you came in, you're obviously here because you knocked over my fan in front of me. It's like, okay, Saint Germain is here. You're here. Literally, the fan just fell right over. Like, okay, we're here. So, so I went to Florida. I lived with my martial arts teacher for about 6 years. I was, basically, even today, racism is alive and well, but in Florida in the 1980s. So I was, a white boy from New York. He's an African American. Actually, he was one of the members of the Panther Party, which most people will know as the Black Panthers, but the real name was the Panther Party, a civil rights group, that were painted as this ultra violent black people that were killing cops or whatever. No, they were a civil rights movement, basically. And but he had enemies um and I got, a little bit of taste of what we could call like black magic or negative use of will or whatever. So for about 6 years, I felt like I was under constant psychic attack on and off. And he wound up going off the rails and actually got shot because otherwise he would have killed somebody. But anyway, that's a whole other story. Though it relates. But but after that experience, I and my brother, who, Tony, is was really into Wicca, and he got me a job at an occult shop in the East Village called Enchantments. So I learned about Wicca and ceremonial magic and stuff like that, just because I felt like I was going to need, to have this knowledge to protect myself. You protect yourself not by wanting and needing protection, because in your universe, you create a situation where you actually do need protection if you feel like you need that, right? So, but just to have those skills, just for more confidence. And also, it was very useful because now I know how to go into people's energies to send them healing light and healing energy. So it's very useful. But that got me to New York City, and I moved there for a couple of reasons. I parted ways with my wife around that time. On good terms. We still loved each other. We just couldn't be together anymore. And my father was sick. We didn't think he was going to make it because he had cancer and he had heart issues. Um, so I figured I was going to go there, help him out, if he passes on. Well, he survived all of that. And I wound up living with my parents for like, God knows how many years, a number of years in my 30s in a small New York City apartment with my girlfriend who became my wife, with our cats. It was hysterical, but I learned about, Wicca, and I learned about the craft, and I became one of the tarot readers in 1993. So that was the beginning of my professional path as a psychic. But then mediumship didn't come into later on. I started to really start to feel the others. Well, I was always aware of spirit. I'll put it that way. You know, as a child, I was seeing spirits. I was always aware of spirit, but not as a communicator. And I'm doing my tarot readings. And and then I tell people, well, I'm not really a medium, but your mother's here, and I'd go on, and most of the time I'd be right. And also John Edward was coming on the scene, you know, one of the most famous mediums in the world, thanks to his show Crossing Over. And he had a special before that, and I'd heard of him because the place I was working in Manhattan, well, he was from Long Island, I think from the Huntington area originally. Um, every now and then, somebody would say, "Have you heard of John Edward? He's 16 years old and he's amazing." Blah blah blah, or whatever. So by the time he was in his 20s, I guess he was in his early 20s when he started to get on TV. Maybe his mid 20s. So he had this show, and he's explaining how he got the information. You know, I'd feel it, I'd get images in my mind, and everything he was saying, I was like, "Well, this happens to me. This happens to me." And I was starting to get really, really curious about whether I could do mediumship. And I asked Spirit, you know, should I learn mediumship because it seems to be working? I started to do more readings. People were understanding the information. Now, I was working at Quest Bookstore, so I left the occult shop for the Quest Bookstore, which is part of the New York Theosophical Society, which is technically occultism also, but it's on a different level. Madame Blavatsky's organization. And 4 years working there, nobody ever asked for a medium. Well, I wanted to know, and somebody called and asked, "Is there anybody there that can talk to the dead?" So, you know, so in my universe, as well as Josh's and other people's universe, asking you, you shall receive. Synchronicities always happen. So the manager looked at me and said, "Yeah, I'll take the reading." I went out back, I meditated for a minute, and I called on my guide. I said, "I don't really know who my guides are. I mean, I know who John is, but I don't know all of my guides." I said, basically, I'm not attached, and this is the key. I'm not attached to the outcome. It's like if I'm a medium, if I'm supposed to do this, what I want to see happen is, you know, to get specific information for this person, not just like, "Oh, your grandma's here, she's holding cookies, it's under love." It's like I want names, I want specifics, basically. Uh, so I said, and if that happens, then I'll pursue mediumship. If not, I'll just do what I'm doing. I'm not attached to it. So the man came in. I shook his hand. I immediately got father. Even before he sat down, I got father. I got a sharp pain in the center of my chest. I got the letters REN. I got the number 10, and I saw an airplane. So to make this story even cooler, I had a lot of respect for mediums. I saw the great Shelley Peck in action, who's one of John Edwards' teachers in the Queen Psychic Club. But in my mind, I'm like, but what good is this? They're dead. Who cares? They're dead. What good is this? So that's what was my mentality. I respected it, and you know, I love mediumship and love watching them work. So anyway, that's an important piece. So anyhow, so I got those 5 bits of information, and the man told me, well, his father died 10 years ago from a heart attack. He was Middle Eastern, I think, or Hebrew, one or the other. But he had a long name that began, he said his first name began with the letters REN, and he was an airplane pilot. So bingo, I knew that I could do the work because those were all 5 things were validated right off. But as I was doing the reading, I learned that him and his dad had a strained relationship. And I told him, look, your dad's saying that the reason he was so hard on you is that you were a reflection of him in his eyes. And he just broke down crying. So I'm like, this is my first mediumship reading. Well, I have a grown man crying in front of me. What do I do? But anyway, the spirit said, "Oh, just lighten it up a little bit." So we talked about a family outing or whatever. So long story short, it was an hour reading. And when the hour was done, he shook my hand and he said, "For 10 long years, I've been holding on to this burden of guilt. 1 hour with you, I can let it go forever." And I was like, whoa, not only now do I know that I'm a medium, but I know why to do mediumship, basically. Like I said, I didn't understand the value in it until I actually did it. And that was in 2001. So I've been at it for 23 years now, doing messages. And that's how I got into it.
So when
Oh,
you
oh,
go
yeah.
from seeing yourself in a kitchen, cooking in a kitchen or cleaning dishes, to seeing somebody crying in front of you, and you have gone through jail and everything, isn't that the most amazing feeling when you know that Spirit has given you a gift that can change people's universes, that they can cry in front of you and you are changing their lives. Isn't that the most amazing feeling in the world? Let's be
It
honest.
is so amazing. It is so healing. Yeah. So you also had asked me how I got on the Medium channel, how that happened.
Yes.
Well, it was not my idea. I'll put it to you that way. Be really blunt. I do ceremony for myself. I light my candles, I say my prayers, I talk to Spirit. So New Year's Eve 2019, Spirit comes through and tells me to start a YouTube channel. There's going to be a need for it. And I'm like, are you crazy? If you see me on camera, no, it's not happening. No, it's like I've always had a tremendous fear of public speaking. I've always had social anxiety. Had not have. So that was in a different lifetime, in this lifetime. Um, and I'd overcome some of it because I was doing public mediumship. I could get up in front of hundreds of people and be fine. Put me on a freaking camera. It's like deer in the headlight, basically. It's some phobia or whatever. So I thought about, I'm like, you know what? Spirit's telling me to do this. I'm going to accept the challenge. I'm going to do it. So I made up an affirmation for myself, a sleep program to feel comfortable and confident on camera. I practiced, I did mental rehearsal. I started to do, and so that happened in December. I started to do 1 minute Instagram videos. 1 minute. The first one took me 2 freaking hours to do, and I wanted to cry when it was done. It was so bad. And it's so self-conscious. Like it's just a freaking camera. Nobody's watching you. Why are you so freaking self-conscious? That's a programming. But I was. So, I kept doing it. Gradually, I could do it in an hour, then a half hour. Now I can do a 1 minute video in 1 minute. So, yeah, practice makes perfect. So I did all the subconscious reprogramming. I did the practice, I did the mental rehearsal, I did all these tools. I launched June 21st, the summer solstice of 2020. The COVID lockdowns were already in effect, so there's where the need comes in. I mean, I didn't know COVID was coming in 2019, and some psychics knew, but I didn't. Um, I knew by January I knew it was coming though, and I knew that the exact month they were going to roll the jab out also. I was a month off, but that's pretty darn close. Um, and uh, and yeah, the channel, the byline is it's the medium channel. I'm a medium, but the byline is the spirituality behind the message. I wanted to give people an accurate account of what I do as a spiritual practice to support my mediumship practice, basically. Then it kind of evolved, it's still the same basic things, but then started to get into other teachers. I think you were saying you had your inspiration, that I'm one of them. I think watching Jake Ducey's videos, I think that was a big inspiration also. He's like he's just great on camera. He talks more about law of attraction and money and stuff like that, but I just got this idea, this could be like a good business also. If I get a lot of followers, then I make courses, and I'm still in the process of accumulating, followers. I mean, I have 13,000 subscribers. You never know it, because it's like most of them watch one video and then you never hear from them again. But I do have 13,000 subscribers on the channel. Um, but that said, I want to keep building the audience, so that when I'm rolling out my online courses, that I'll be able to make a lot of passive income also. So I'll be able to support my work more, do more for Spirit, do more for myself and everything. But that's how I got on, and then it's kind of taken a life of its own, and different things that I do. You know, I learned that I could do energy channeling, around that time, or maybe it's closer to 2021. So I learned that I could do the frequency channeling because I did it on Facebook, almost like a lark. Um, I used to sit in on a channel named Susie Mazzoli here in Woodstock from 2010 to 2012. So for 2 years, and I and she'd be doing the channeling. I'd be getting the energetic upgrade. And a couple of times they told me that I was going to channel them, and I was like, in my mind, humans have such monkey mind. I mean, I know Saint Germain, you remember being in a human incarnation also can appreciate that. So it's like, oh no, I'm a medium. I'm not a channel. She does that, not me. So anyway, it was 2021, and I was starting to feel like I was starting to get the message to do channeling, to do frequency channeling. So I did it half on the lark, and then I had three people email me saying, yo, that was amazing. My crown chakra open. I've seen colors, I've seen shapes, I've seen patterns. Like three separate people describe what might have been a DMT release or a gamma experience. Certainly a crown chakra opening. I was like, all right, I'm going to keep doing it. Just like the mediumship. If it didn't work, I was done. I wasn't attached to it at all. So, anyhow.
So what we are going to ask then, if you don't mind then, since you are talking about your channeling that, and this is a channeling channel, so to speak, could you
Yes,
you channel your group, you call them the master teachers, is that correct?
yes, that is
And
correct.
can we, and I know that you might even, this might even get goofy, and we are going to get goofy with this because energetics can be goofy. What if
Yes,
you were to channel Saint Germain? Well, Saint Germain is talking to you and you are talking to Saint Germain. It could actually happen if you're going to the master teachers in energetic form, there is the possibility that Adam, if he goes into channeling, could pick up Saint Germain while Saint Germain is sitting on the other side channeling with Adam. If you have an understanding of that, this is how your universe works, and it's quite interesting. So we're going
I
to ask Adam.
indeed. I mean, yeah, when he came into you, my fan fell over. So obviously he's here also. Obviously
The
you're here.
energetics of you are, of course, Adam is right there, but Adam is also in his higher self, and he has maybe even other Adam energies on this planet. We don't know. So Saint Germain, just like you have heard, Saint Germain is the alchemist who has been around and is still alive, so to speak. And you have heard some
Oh,
crazy stuff
yes.
about Saint Germain. It is possible for Saint Germain, just like yourself, if you understand energetics, to be here and in Adam's room. So we are going to ask Adam. We're not saying he has to channel Saint Germain, but if you would grant us maybe 5 or 10 minutes with the master teachers to give
Yeah.
us a little of what goes through Adam and also to discuss because the energies right now, if you are feeling, and maybe they can help with that as well, if you are feeling a little heavy, the collective has a heaviness about it right now. Do
Hmm.
not conflate your energies with the heaviness of the collective. And so we're going to ask if maybe the master teachers can help with that as well. And we are going to leave it to Adam here.
Okay, yeah, certainly I can't see who's on or whatever, but this is for everybody. And I did a little bit of checking because I became aware of the elixir of longevity of Saint Germain, and that his activities on your activities on the earth, I guess, as a Comte de Saint Germain, uh, or whatever the human name was at the time, being traced to 110 years. But there's legend about you living, as a human for 400 years, and certainly there are other legends of other humans that have incredible longevity. But anyway, I just figured I'd
We
interject.
leave that to legend because Saint Germain here in this format, and there's
Yeah,
multiple.
yeah,
You
yeah.
could see Tara Arnold, you could see Adamus Saint Germain. Everyone has a different matches, and if you watch an older Tara Arnold video, it's interesting. We have Mr. Floyd or Josh going to the park, sitting there doing his channeling in the dawning. If you go back and watch old Tara Arnold, and she channels Saint Germain too, where is she going? To the park, to sit by the lake, to channel Saint Germain as well. It is quite
Wow.
interesting. Yes, exactly. So yes,
Of course,
it is
good
quite
point. These are
interesting. But
more
we
the
want to hear what.
legend.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
All right. So
So
let
we
me
are
just I'm
going to
also a
release that.
conscious channel. But what I do, which isn't too common, I mean, it's done, and anybody that does energy healing does frequency channeling also, obviously, but they activate my fields, and if you're and they do this as like a meditation when they channel, and they want everybody to just be very relaxed, very present, and if you're with the sound of my voice, they're able to access your energy field and work with your higher self to upgrade your frequencies. Yes, dear ones, we are here, and this is a very special time of a very special year of a very special universe. We are honored and grateful to be working with Saint Germain, to be working with Archangel Raphael and Archangel Metatron. We are all a team. We are all part of a collective. We are all, in essence, one being with many, many, many different manifestations thereof. And we have to point out or understand, or have you understand that it's one reality, yet it's infinite. And you may look at the same butterfly and see something completely different as the other person, but it doesn't mean the other person is wrong. It just means that they are seeing from a different vantage point. So just imagine, like in the Native American teachings that this channel is very, very much enamored by. Imagine that you're sitting on one end of the circle and then somebody's sitting 90 degrees for you and you're seeing if there's a feather in the middle. So for me, the feather almost looks like an arrow. It's straight, it's pointing, it's coming at me. And for the person 90 degrees to my right or to my left, they're seeing what might look to them look almost like a rectangle because they're not seeing the point, they're seeing the broad end of the feather. So they're seeing a whole different image of that feather. Yet it's the same feather. It's just from different perspective, from a different universe. It's a different experience. Why is this important? Because your world is such turmoil. There's such an uproar in your planet right now. And people are arguing and arguing because I'm right and you're wrong. But no, they're both right because you're just seeing the same thing from a whole different vantage point. And this is what you have to understand. You who are watching this video today, you who are watching this as the replay, and everybody in the planet has to understand just because the other person doesn't agree with you doesn't make them wrong. It just means you're perceiving from a whole different perspective. Why do we say this? Because we want you to experience unity. We don't want you to become victims of the cabal or whatever name you want to give them, those few that run the great many. We don't want you to be the victim of that programming. We and this channel will acknowledge this lately because it's been on its news feeds, its Facebook feeds, and all this, that there's such an uproar over a female boxer because the exact gender is not clear cut or known. And this channel, who's a martial artist, is like, well, you ladies, if you know you may come against a stronger opponent, you need to learn strategy. You need to learn how to be a tactician, just like Muhammad Ali defeated plenty of opponents with a stronger punch than him. But we are digressing from the point a little bit. But the point being is that you just have to understand everybody has a perspective. You have to honor that. Don't feel threatened. That's part of the programming of your world, of your so-called leaders is to, well, we'll put it this way, is geared or manufactured in a way to hijack your emotions based on some outer stimuli, as it were, to hijack your emotions into predictable actions and reactions that bring you away from your heart, away from your center, away from your spirit, and reduce you to basically an angry lunatic ready to take somebody's head off because they like a different presidential candidate than you like. Now, if you step back, and I know this is a very sophisticated group that you have attracted here, Saint Germain and Josh, we understand that. So you yourselves may see past that, but many people don't. So this is the thing to understand. So we're going to work with some energy and frequencies. So just relax. Relax your mind, relax and open your heart. We may start to work a little bit with the goddess Sekhmet, the Lyran's ambassador, as it were, who became an Egyptian lion goddess during parts of her transversing to the universe, to the blah blah blah. We are not always best with words because we have to rely on the channel. But anyway, you get the idea. You understand. So we are raising the frequency to relax and accept these higher energies. They're here to heal you and to clear you. What we wish to do when we work with you is to create a flow, an energetic flow that clears the obstructions in your auric fields. It's almost equivalent to like a gooey, gluey substance that exists within your auric fields that also in a energetic, but also in a physical manner exists within the cells of your body. It's toxins, it's pollutions, but a lot of this comes through your hormonal hormonal, what's the right words? Byproducts of the chemicals that you secrete. For example, when you get angry or upset, there's 7 to 8 different hormones that you secrete in your body, and they can leave stains within the cellular, within the cells, basically. But anyway, point being is that we are going to work with frequency to help to clear those. It starts in the auric or energetic fields, but whatever happens in your energetic fields, sooner or later, there's a response in the physical body also, a disease, a block, a pattern, a tendency. So we wish you to be clear vessels of light. So we're raising the frequencies, relax, allow, and breathe. We wish you to be a clear vessel of light, to be able to channel higher and higher levels of energy, because you are healers, mystics. You are the master teachers are you. As you tune into Josh's channel, you are allowing Saint Germain to step into your field, to step into your universe, and to teach you and to help you to grow and to help you to master your energy, master yourself more and more. So we are augmenting that with frequency. We will say that. Sort of the yin to the yang or the yang to the yin, depending on how you want to look at it. So relax and breathe, allow. Accept the energy of the lion. Accept the lion into your heart. Sekhmet, if you wish to call the lion that, the etheric lion, your strength, your pride, your will, and feel that beautiful golden lioness light, that strength, that empowerment, spreading within your entire auric field, spreading within your body, allowing you to easily step through these portals of higher frequencies and energies, allowing the upgrade, allowing us to assist you in upgrading your DNA, to awakening dormant DNA and awakening dormant gifts that you've had flashes of, and those flashes have become more frequent, have they not? Because you've been ascending. The whole world is ascending, collective consciousness is ascending, but there's a kickback force or a pushback force, I believe is the term, from those that don't wish the awakening, that have hijacked the emotions of millions upon millions on your planet, that are programmed to fear something they don't understand, especially if it's mystical and spiritual, and they will fight you and they will block you or attempt to. They won't succeed, but they will attempt to do that. The more in your heart and your power you are, the less influence these negative forces will have on you. Remember, hearts cannot be programmed, only the mind can. So when you dwell on the heart, you're resistant to all the programming. The programming happens through Wi-Fi signals, through cell signals, through advertising, through inflections in the voices of those leaders, always, every day. As soon as you turn your news feed on Facebook, you're subject to programming. Social media is the big tool of programming. It is huge. Think, you answer somebody's post, and all of a sudden 20 posts on the same subject come up on your news feed because they want to program you. They use that as a tool. But you know what? None of that matters. Not if you're in the heart. They can do frequency infiltration into your system of the yin yang. It doesn't matter. Will be immune to it because they cannot and will not enter the heart. That is impossible. Your heart is too powerful because it connects to the ultimate heart, the universal heart. That being great spirit, that being accessible through love and gratitude and compassion. Just allow, as we finish up, just allow the flows to continue, clearing, energizing, and upgrading. You're going to start to ground the frequencies now. Feel your roots deep into the earth. You must be grounded. There is a cosmic storm going on in your physical storms where Adam lives. The white pines will always come down because they have very shallow root systems. The birches will withstand virtually any storm that Mother Nature throws at it because it has deep, strong roots. Run your roots deep in Mother Earth. She's your protectress. Every cell in your body came from her and will return to her. Ground deep into her, and you'll be able to handle the the energetic storm that's blowing through your planet now. You won't be knocked down. You'll stand strong. You'll stand in your truth. You'll stand in your power, and your light will emanate like a giant beacon, attracting like souls to you. So you form community, you teach, you learn, you grow. And that's how the awakening happens. That's how the evil forces, which is a program of your universe, absolutely, it's not even real, but the paradigm of good versus evil is part of your growth in this reality. You will be able to vanquish the evil, keep the dark energies where they belong, more internalized as your power source, so you can step into the light. We are the master teachers. We are complete.
We thank you so much. Saint Germain is so grateful for all of you who have channeled as the master teachers through Adam. We are thankful for the message and we are grateful. And Adam, we have 4 more minutes left or so. So we are grateful for the channeling. How can people get a hold of you if they want a mediumship, if they want to meet with dead ones, or if they need help with tarot card reading or something of that effect?
Thank you so much. Well, I have a website. It's Adam, my name, Adam, betweentheworlds.com. So it's adambetweentheworlds.com. We do a lot of free stuff on the Medium channel. So you know what my channel, I have a feeling a lot of you are already part of it that are watching, but maybe not everybody. And that's basically how you'll find the website. If you want to just email us directly, it's info@adambetweentheworlds.com. And you can get, pricing and all that stuff and availability and everything through Yana. She does my bookings.
Can you go over some of the shows on your channel that you would recommend for people to watch if they have not watched your channel, like the
Yes,
Sunday Dawning
well,
show?
I would highly recommend 8 p.m. on 8 p.m. Eastern time. So that's 5 Pacific, 6 Mountain, 7 Central. And then in Europe, it's completely different. But we're going to do a strong transmission for the Lionsgate portal to help you to energetically match the frequency of that portal. So they'll prepare you for that. And once you're an energetic match, a frequency match, then you can step in very easily. There's no effort. So they'll help you to blend into the portal for your upgrade. So we do channeling on the full moon, on special events on the channel. We have tarot time, as Josh was explaining. Other than that, I do mediumship sessions live. They're free. About 50 to 100 folks come in, so you may not get a message, but they're free. Every 6 weeks we do that. So these are different kind of ongoing events. And then we have uploads and I do a lot of short form videos. I do a short tarot reading every day, and then I do another mini, anywhere from 15 to 60-second short video about whatever topic, law of attraction, mediumship, dead people, whatever, awakening or whatever. I don't think I'm missing any of my regular.
Your Patreon channel. You have a Patreon channel, do you not?
I have a what?
Patreon. Do you not have a
I do have
Patreon
a
community?
Patreon. Yes, Spirit Mind Family. Yeah, that's patreon.com, Spirit Mind Family. Although a free membership's an option, you just get the posts on that. You get everything else through a $5 a month membership. And we do 2 channelings, deeper channelings every month. I have videos, exclusive meditations I don't share anywhere else. Um, and we have a great group there. And I'll be doing another retreat, although there's going to be a mediumship channeling retreat. The last retreat was a spiritual awakening, and it culminated with within a Sekhmet initiation or a line initiation with Sekhmet. So,
Uh,
so, so we'll be doing more retreats, and Josh will be at one of them sooner than later.
Absolutely. And Josh works with Sekhmet too, the Sekhmet energy, where if you are feeling kind of not grounded in your universe, if you can get that kind of energy, you will grab the Sekhmet energy and pull yourself forward, because Sekhmet can propel you forward. Just
Yeah.
because just works with Saint Germain does not mean he does not work with others as well. He works with, of course, Sekhmet and the Lionsgate Portal. We are going to put that into the community page, because that is a very important event that Adam is having, to get round into that energy. The 8-8 portal is super important for you to ground into that heavier kind of energy, so that you can propel yourself forward and grind,
Yeah.
not even grind, but groove, pull that, you're pulling yourself with that earth kind of energy. And the Sekhmet is that kind of energy. So yes, and Josh is full of that. And so it's going to be an excellent thing. We are grateful for you, Adam,
We are
to be
grateful
here.
for you too. Thank you.
We are thankful for your channeling and thankful for the master teachers who came through. We thank your energies for your amazing message. We hope to see you in the future in Adam's chats. If you are going to be there Thursday night, Josh will be there. He will be at work and he will be in the chat. And we are grateful for Adam and what he does on this channel here, and this channeling. And Saint Germain is grateful for Adam, because it's like he said, if you do not have somebody in your universe that kind of helps you to push yourself forward, when you are stepping out into your own, and you have and the people from the channel as well, you are all kind of in this wind, and it is grateful. And Saint Germain and Archangel Raphael are grateful for that wind in Josh's cell and Saint Germain's cell as well, because it is for Josh, this is new. For Saint Germain, of course, we channel with lots of people. We've channeled with Adam dozens of times. But for Josh, this was all new. And so we are grateful that you guys came behind and pushed him forward, because a lot of people get this information, start to channel. And if they don't have the wind behind them, then the sail goes flat and the boat stops moving. If you are in understanding, the energy dies out. So in that aspect, we are very grateful. And Adam, we are blessing you and your channel with the best ever, the most amazing universe that you can ever have. And may your abundance just grow, and may the 13,000 become 26,000 by the next time we meet.
And likewise for you too. Yes. Yes.
We are grateful, and we hope to see you, all of you in the audience. We could not see this is the first time Josh has done a live. Next time he'll put his laptop up, he can see the chat.
Yeah. If you do StreamYard, you can see the chat. So that's one of the reasons I use StreamYard instead of this one.
Exactly. We will look into the StreamYard, but the Zoom work well for the one-on-one sessions that Saint Germain does. And we are not going to go into that now. But nonetheless, we are grateful for you, Adam. We do not want to take up much more of your time. Please join us here, Saint Germain and Archangel Raphael, tomorrow in the Dawning, where we go live at 10:33 Eastern, 7:33 Pacific, in the park, just like we sent Tara Arnold way back 5 years ago, of course. And this is Josh's first year, so see the parallels if you want, but we do not say anything more. But nonetheless, we will see you at the park in the Dawning tomorrow, where we will do what we normally do, which is to channel your universe, to help you to see your universe in the best way and see the energetics of how you are creating your universe. And the energetics should include Adam as well, to create your universe. We love you, and we are hoping to have the best evening ever. And thank you again, Adam, for everything that you do.
Namaste.
Have a blessed Namaste to you as well, Adam. May the light in you be as bright as the light that is everything that is, and may it continue to shine to everybody, as you are such a gift for everybody in your universe. We're going to end this now, and we are going to release transmission and let Josh say goodbye. Thank you guys so much. We are released. There we go. I'm back. All right. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you, Adam. Thank you. And everybody have a wonderful. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening, and grateful.